From the moment they appeared on our screens as the adorable Michelle Tanner in Full House, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen captivated audiences worldwide. Their cherubic faces and synchronized charm made them household names before they could even walk. But behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, the twins faced a whirlwind of challenges that would shape their lives in unforeseen ways. This is the untold story of the Olsen twins, a journey from stardom to seclusion, from fame to fashion, and the personal battles they fought along the way. Born on June 13, 1986, in Sherman Oaks, California, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were thrust into the limelight at just 9 months old when they were cast to share the role of Michelle Tanner on the ABC sitcom Full House. To comply with child labor laws, the twins alternated scenes, a practice that would set the tone for their shared career. As the show gained popularity, so did the twins, becoming the youngest entrepreneurs in Hollywood. In 1993, they founded Dual Star Entertainment Group, a company that would produce a series of successful direct-to-video films, merchandise, and a fan club, turning them into a billion-dollar brand. Their faces adorned everything from lunchboxes to clothing lines, making them omnipresent in the lives of young fans. However, this early exposure came at a cost. The twins missed out on a traditional childhood, their lives dictated by shooting, schedules, promotional tours, and business meetings. The pressure to maintain their brand image was immense, leaving little room for personal growth outside the public eye. By the mid-90s, Mary-Kate and Ashley had become more than just TV stars. They were a full-blown industry. Their popularity was engineered not just through acting, but through an empire of consumer products, clothes, books, toys, and even a fashion magazine bearing their name. The Olsen twins' image was everywhere, and their fan base exploded. It wasn't just that they were child stars. It was that they became the definitive child stars of their generation. Parents saw them as wholesome role models, while kids wanted to be them. And behind the scenes, their lives were dictated by contracts, photo shoots, media appearances, and grueling work schedules that would exhaust most adults. But with their growing brand came a darker reality. The twins were not only child actors, they were also child entrepreneurs. At a time when most kids were learning long division, the Olsens were learning about brand expansion, profit margins, and licensing agreements. By age 10, they were millionaires. And while their names were on the labels, many decisions were made for them. Controlled by adults, agents, and corporate executives, the twins often had little say in how their brand evolved. Their likenesses were sold on everything from shampoo bottles to backpacks, reducing them from individuals to living, breathing trademarks. They weren't just Mary-Kate and Ashley anymore. They were the Olsen twins TM. This hyper-commercialization didn't go unnoticed by the media or public. The narrative slowly shifted from admiration to scrutiny. Every new product line sparked debate. Were they being exploited? Was it ethical to turn children into a global brand? Meanwhile, the girls maintained a carefully curated image of harmony and joy. Public smiles, well-rehearsed interviews, and charming personas were expected and delivered. But as we'd later discover, those polished smiles often masked deep emotional fatigue. School was another area where their fame isolated them. They were tutored on sets and missed out on a traditional childhood experience. No dances, no slumber parties, no high school drama, at least not the kind typical teenagers face. Instead, their drama unfolded under public scrutiny, chronicled by tabloids eager to capitalize on every perceived misstep. One publication even hired paparazzi to stake out their school for candid shots, an invasion of privacy that only worsened as they got older. The few friendships they had were often overshadowed by their fame. Other kids didn't always know how to act around them. Were they friends, fans, or opportunists? It was hard to tell. And that uncertainty created a sense of isolation that never fully went away. Even among peers, Mary-Kate and Ashley often felt alone. Two girls caught in a whirlwind of fame they couldn't control. As their teen years approached, the pressure only intensified. The public's obsession with them grew more invasive. Fans still adored them, but now the media began focusing more on their appearances, their bodies, and their rumored personal lives. Headlines shifted from America's sweethearts to, "Are they too thin?" Or, which twin has the better fashion sense? Questions that weren't just shallow, but dangerous. It's no wonder that behind the scenes, cracks began to show. By the early 2000s, Mary-Kate and Ashley were venturing into young adulthood, and their media presence took a more mature turn. They starred in a string of teen-focused films, appeared on talk shows, and launched more sophisticated clothing lines. But their transition from child stars to adult icons was anything but seamless. The public now expected them to evolve, but not too much. Be grown up, but still innocent. Be fashion-forward, but not provocative. It was a tightrope walk, and the consequences of falling off it were brutal. For Mary-Kate especially, the pressure began manifesting physically. Rumors swirled about her weight, with tabloids publishing side-by-side photos of the twins and speculating on her health. It wasn't just gossip, it was a full-scale media obsession. Every public appearance was dissected. She was called skeletal, sickly, and worse. The whispers became so loud that, in 2004, her team confirmed what many feared. Mary-Kate was battling an eating disorder. She entered treatment, but the media coverage didn't stop. In fact, it intensified. News outlets camped outside rehab facilities. Paparazzi followed her every move, hunting for after photos. This wasn't just harassment, it was humiliation disguised as journalism. The young star's most vulnerable moments were monetized for public consumption. And through it all, Ashley stayed silent, fiercely protective of her sister, but also overwhelmed by the intrusion. What few realized at the time was how deeply the disorder had affected their relationship. They were always close, at times, almost telepathic, but trauma can strain even the tightest bonds. Mary-Kate's illness introduced a new dynamic. Ashley became both sister and caretaker, protector and co-star. The balance between personal love and professional responsibility blurred. And as Mary-Kate struggled, Ashley quietly shouldered a weight she never asked for. The pressure wasn't only external. Internally, they were grappling with their identities. Their lives had been so intertwined for so long that the idea of individuality felt foreign. Even their attempts at separate pursuits, Ashley leaning more into fashion, Mary-Kate exploring edgier film roles, were constantly compared and critiqued. If one stumbled, it reflected on both. Their college years offered a brief refuge. Enrolling. At NYU in 2004, they hoped to blend in with other students to experience something normal for once. But normalcy proved elusive. Their fame followed them everywhere. Classmates reportedly sold stories to tabloids. Professors hesitated to call on them in class, afraid of overstepping. Mary-Kate eventually dropped out, citing the media frenzy as a factor. She had sought healing in anonymity, but anonymity was never an option. Then came the death of Heath Ledger in 2008, a moment that cast another long shadow over Mary-Kate's life. The two were reportedly close, though the exact nature of their relationship remained private. When news broke that a masseuse had called Mary-Kate before dialing 911, questions arose. Why was she contacted? Was she involved? The speculation was ruthless. Though authorities later cleared her of any wrongdoing, the damage was done. Once again, grief was turned into gossip, and Mary-Kate was left to mourn under a microscope. The relentless attention, paired with their internal struggles, ultimately pushed the twins further out of the spotlight. They began retreating from acting altogether, focusing instead on fashion. Their label, The Row, became a passion project and a form of escape. In fashion, they could still express themselves, but on their own terms. They could be creative, without being consumed. Ashley once said in an interview that she and Mary-Kate didn't need the cameras anymore, and in that quiet departure, they reclaimed something precious. Control. But as we'll see in the next chapter, stepping away from the spotlight doesn't mean the story ends. For the Olsens, life away from fame brought both healing and new challenges. Despite their fame, the Olsen twins have always valued their privacy. Mary-Kate's marriage to French banker Olivier Sarkozy in 2015 was a low-key affair, with details kept tightly under wraps. However, their relationship faced challenges, leading to a divorce in 2021. Reports suggested differences in lifestyle and priorities as contributing factors. Ashley, on the other hand, maintained an even more private personal life. In 2022, she married artist Louis Eisner in a discreet ceremony, and the couple welcomed their first child, a son named Otto, in 2023. Ashley has expressed a desire to keep her family life out of the public eye, a sentiment that reflects the twins' overall approach to fame. The twins' decision to abstain from participating in the Full House reboot, Fuller House, raised eyebrows. They cited their departure from acting and focus on fashion as reasons for declining the offer. However, some speculated that revisiting their past might have been emotionally taxing, given the complexities of their early fame. Their younger sister, Elizabeth Olsen, has carved out her own successful acting career, notably as Wanda Maximoff in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Despite their different paths, Elizabeth has spoken about the protective nature of her older sisters and the close bond they share. The sisters' relationship underscores the importance of family support in navigating the challenges of fame. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's journey is a testament to resilience and reinvention. From child stars to fashion moguls, they have continually evolved, refusing to be confined by public expectations. Their success in the fashion industry, marked by critical acclaim and commercial viability, has solidified their status as influential figures beyond the realm of entertainment. Their story also serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of early fame. The pressures they faced highlight the need for better support systems for child actors and a more compassionate media landscape. By stepping back from the spotlight and prioritizing their well-being, the Olsen twins have redefined what it means to be successful, emphasizing personal fulfillment over public adulation. Olsen twins' lives have been a complex tapestry of triumphs and tribulations. Their early fame brought them wealth and recognition, but also subjected them to immense pressure and scrutiny. Through it all, they have managed to carve out identities that align with their values, finding solace in creativity and privacy. Their story is a poignant reminder of the human side of celebrity, a narrative of two individuals striving to find themselves amidst the noise of fame.